Hello everybody and welcome to my tutorial for the Mastermorphix. As you can see, I've got two puzzles here that look different but look the same. This one is smaller and pillowed and this one is more sharp-edged and triangle. These are both Mastermorphix puzzles. They are solved exactly the same way, and just for the sake of this tutorial I will be using the smaller one here because this is the most common one that people have. I just wanted to show you this in case this is the one you have. You can still apply what I'm going to teach you on this one to this one here. Alright, so basically this is just a 3x3 shape mod. As you can see, this is a center here because everything rotates around and when you move it, it doesn't move. So this is a center and these are edges and these little triangles here are corners, but these big triangle pieces here are also corners. So given that you can't tell how these ones are oriented, that it can cause problems later on, and we'll be going through that as we go. So because it's just like a 3x3, that's exactly how we're going to solve it, is just like a 3x3. Now I find it hard to do F2L stuff and OLL and PLL algorithms on here, so I use the beginner's method, and later on when you become more comfortable with solving your Mastermorphix, if you can do F2L and OLL and PLL, then the power to you. I'm choosing not to do that though. It's just it's not a speed cubing puzzle for me, so I don't need to be able to do that. So for most comments that I've got on other tutorials is that the last layer is never explained properly. So the first two layers is pretty intuitive, the same way that we do it on a regular cube. So I'm not going to go too in depth there, but I will be explaining how to use these centers. But what I'm going to really concentrate on is this last layer. I'll go over it a few times so you can really see how it's done. All right, so let's give it up scramble. Okay, so I think we have a sufficient enough scramble. As you can see that it's in its fully shapeshifted form. So the first thing we want to do is we want to look for all these center pieces that are like this, and we want to put all the colors toward each other. So here we have a yellow and blue, so let's find another yellow. Here's one, and so I guess here's one here. So we face all of these yellow pieces towards each other, just like this. Now let's do the same for the green. And you don't have to use yellow and then green and follow along with that. You can choose whatever ones you want. You'll find it happens really quickly. So here we've got all of them that are done. So typically what I like to do is I like to build a cross. As you can see here would be the green and yellow, both yellow pieces on this side and both green pieces on this side. And a lot of the time what I'll do is I'll look around the cube to see for ones that are already filled in. So this would be ideal. As you can see, one of the greens is already in and one of the yellows are already in. However, a lot of the time you get the cube and none of them are in anywhere. So that's what I'm going to concentrate on now. So I'm going to do the red and blue. So what I like to do is, and this is like all intuitive stuff, like you should be able to figure this out pretty quick on your own if you can do 3x3. So I can see that this piece here can fit up there, but I need this piece to still be facing the other reds without disturbing this. So I get it out of the way, I move this back, and I put this here. So I need another red to come here. And as you can see, this piece here can go up, but it's backwards. But if I turn this way, then it can go up. And now I can move this back, and I can put this one back, so all the yellows face each other once again. So now we've got the two reds. So we're going to work on blue, and it just happened while we put in the red, one of the blues came in, which is perfectly fine. So here we go. Here is another blue here, just the same situation we had before where I could turn it up. And actually on this one I can't really turn it up because I got nothing else to move it out of the way with. As you can see, the blue is now not facing the other blues. So what we need to do is keep the cross on top. I need you to turn that blue all the way to the bottom layer. I need you to get it out of the way and then turn the center so it can accept that blue so it's flush with it, as you can see. Now we turn it upwards. So that's essentially your cross. It's very intuitive. Just keep going through and trying to find your cross the way that you do it. And make sure that you keep the centers so they are in correct position. So now we're going to put in this red into here. Again, you might choose the other side, or you might be using a different color scheme. And so we put it aside and we put it in just like we would any 3x3 cube. If you don't understand how I did that, I'm going to explain how I did that really quickly. Let's find, where's the blue one? I'm just going to take this out for example. So you put the blue over the spot it's supposed to, you turn it to the right, you bring this left side up, you bring that blue back and put the left side down, and that's how it puts it in there. Now we're going to concentrate on these. So these bigger corners, that's a little bit different. Here we have red, blue, and yellow. So we need the red, blue, and yellow here, but it's already there, but it's not spun correctly. So what we're going to do is get it out. So we bring it up, move it away, bring this back. So now we want to put this back in. So what we want to do is we want to look at the bottom part. So if we're looking and we have the cross on the bottom and we're looking at this corner straight on, it's got blue facing us, right? The red's going out this way and the yellow's going out that way. If the blue is facing us, we look at the bottom, we have red and blue. This is good. If we have one of the bottom colors on the bottom part of this corner, then that's we can insert it very easily. Say for instance the yellow was at the bottom, we would have to reposition this corner once again in order to be able to insert it. So on this one it's very easy because one of the bottom colors is here. So we turn it to the side and we insert it just like we would the corner on a regular Rubik's Cube. So let's take a look at this side. This is blue, red, and green. So here we have blue, red, and green. So I'm going to just move this around a little bit just to show you what you would do if you had green on the side. So here we go, right? We have blue and red at the bottom, and on the point of this facing us is green. So blue and red are out here, and we want one of these bottom colors at the bottom. Well, what we have to do is we have to rotate this corner, and the way we do that is we move the left side up, we move it over twice and bring this down. Now when we bring it over, you can see that one of the bottom colors is here. So it's red. Red's on the right, so we turn it to the left and we insert it just like we would on a regular 3x3 cube. So we brought this blue out somehow. Sometimes that happens, so we just reinsert that blue piece. So now as you can see, we've basically got one layer, which is, you know, the one first layer of a Rubik's Cube. So let's put this back again and realign our top center with these two colors. So let's get this green inside here. All right, so this green can go in here. Now the way that I know if this is correct or not, because I can't match it up like this and I can't match it up like this, is what you want to do is not have the green flush. So in this case it's on the right side and it's flush. What you want to do is put it on the other side so it's not flush. As you can see, it's jagged here. And I want you to turn it one more time away. And then I want you to bring this one up, bring it over, put that down, and now just reinsert this by bringing it up, over, and down, and it brings that piece inside with it. So let's do the yellow. So here's a yellow piece, and I know that this is in correct configuration because it's not flush. So again, I turn it away, I bring this piece up, turn it the same way I did the other piece, bring this down, and then I bring this back so it's over top of where it needs to go, and I bring it towards that piece, matching it up, bringing it towards us, and back down again. So let's try the red. I guess there's no red in the top, which means it has to be here. And I don't just want to bring this out of here. I might want to bring the blue in here and take that red out, which I can't because there's none in the top. So this piece has to be switched with this piece, and that's very easy. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it right now. You're going to bring both of these pieces out as a pair, just like this. And now you just want to reinsert this from the other side. So that brings our red out, but puts our blue little corner piece back in. So now we can insert the red on this side again. And as you can see, this is flush, which is what we don't want. We want it to be jagged. And now on this side, we can just bring this piece up to match with that, get that out of the way, bring this piece back, and now we can insert this like a pear. And we're going to do the same on this side. So let's go here. The blue is flush. We don't want that, so we turn it to the left where it's not flush, and we can bring this corner up to match with that one, move it out of the way, and bring this back down, and insert that just like an F2L pear. So now we're on to the bottom. And so I'm going to set up my other cube here so I can show you what to look for. Okay, so I've got my other cube here, and as you know in the beginner's method, what you look for is a dot or a line or an L. And so in this case, you would see the dot is here, and you would make a line with using an algorithm. And then you'd use that same algorithm again to make an L. And then you do that same algorithm again to make your cross. and that's what we're looking for. But in this case, it's a little bit more difficult because there's not two colors to an edge, where on this one there is. You can tell that this one is oriented properly because the yellow is on top. However, here, there's only one color. So you don't know if it's oriented properly or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an algorithm. And if you know the 3x3 method to complete this, which is R, U, R prime, U, R, 2U, R prime, it's also known as the Soon algorithm. We're going to use that exactly the same. So in this case, I can see that here I have one piece that is flush and in color with it. So this one is correct. As you can see, it's got green here and a green piece here. So this is correct. This is not correct because this is flush, but it's on green. This green is not correct because it's not flush and it's not on yellow. So that's double not flush. But the problem is that I don't know if this green is correct or this green is correct, and this one's just in the wrong place because I can't see how they're flipped over. So what you're looking for is to see if there's one that is flush. So one that is already correct. And I want you to hold that toward yourself so you can kind of see your cross like this. And we're going to use this as our R move, and this is our U move. And we're going to create and complete the Soon algorithm. R, U, R prime, U, R, 2U, R prime. So as you can see, it did not fix it. Here I have the same exact case again. So we're just going to do it again. And what the Soon algorithm is doing is it's putting this piece where this one is, this one where this one is, and this one where this one is. So we're going to do the Soon algorithm again. R, U, R prime, U, R, 2U, R prime. And as you can see, that completed the cross. So I'm going to go through that one more time real quick so you can get a little bit more of a grasp on how to do it. Okay, so here we have another case, and as you can see, nothing is in. Nothing is touching this centerpiece that is correct. So when this happens, I basically just do the Soon algorithm until something goes in. So I'm going to pick from any side and go R, U, R prime, U, R, 2U, R prime. And here you can see that this yellow is now flush and correct, and so is this green. So I'm going to call that the line, and I'm going to do the algorithm that I usually do on a 3x3 to create an L. Now I don't know if it's going to create an L. It's kind of hit or miss, so we're going to try. And we're going to go F, U, R, U prime, R prime, F prime. Okay, and so it did complete an L. Here we have an L formation because these two are now incorrect. So here's an L, and we're going to do the algorithm again. F, U, R, U prime, R prime, F prime. And as you can see, it did not give us a cross. It gave us one piece that is flush. So what we're looking for is to put that in front of us, and we're going to swap these around using the Soon algorithm. R, U, R prime, U, R, 2U, R prime. And as you can see, that brought that in. So it takes a little bit of practice to do, but don't worry, you'll get it in time. It's not a problem. So now the next part is to put these corners where they're supposed to be. So we're going to permute the corners. And what the algorithm does is if you hold the cube like this, so the top layer is here, and you look at it from this angle so you can see your cross, it's going to protect this piece. So whatever is in the front right, it's going to protect, and it's going to put this piece over here, this piece over here, and this piece over here. So when I do this algorithm, you can see that it will indeed solve the green side. So this will go here and solve the green side. So we're going to do that algorithm. So holding it like this, protecting the piece that's here, you might have a different case. So you just have to look at, look around your cube and say, oh, if I protect this piece, it's going to move these pieces here. And you want to try to get it so that there's one piece that's in. Or you might already have one piece that's in and you want to solve the rest. But we'll get to that after this section. So here we go. I'm going to do the algorithm. U, R, U prime, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, L. And as you can see, it solved the green. So I want to protect that green piece. So here's the green piece, and what I want to do is do the algorithm again, and looking at it from this angle, I can see that the yellow belongs here, but I go clockwise. So that means I have to do the algorithm twice. This one will go here and solve it. This one will go here and solve it. And this one will go 1, 2 algorithms here to solve it. So let's do the algorithm. U, R, U prime, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, L. And as predicted, that's exactly what happened. So let's try it again. U, R, U prime, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, L. And as you can see, these are now in. So this is in, it's in its spot, but it's not, it's not permuted by, spinning it properly, and neither is this. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to spin these properly. And it may look like a parity, but trust me, it's not a parity. The reason for this is because on a real Rubik's Cube like this, you can have 1, 2, 3 that are not spun properly, but 1 is always spun properly. You can never have 2, but you can on this. And the reason for that is it's what you might call a parity of false equivocation. And a man named John actually told me about this, and it is quite an interesting parity. It's not actually a parity, but if you would consider it a parity, it would be because you equivocated this to be exactly the same as that. And the reason for this is because this corner is exactly the same as this corner, but you don't know how this is spun. So this might be spun wrong. In fact, it is spun wrong, and that's why you have 2 and 1 is spun wrong. It might be this one or this one, but it doesn't really matter, and I'll explain why as we go. So this algorithm is going to spin this piece, and I want the piece that you want to spin to be in the right side. So you want to hold it like this. So this is your perspective now. So this is your front cross, and I want you to do this. R prime, D prime, R, D. That's once. You have to do it twice. R prime, D prime, R, D. Now you're stuck with all this, but this is fixed. So you have to complete this algorithm many times to refix what you've done down here. So without losing your perspective on this, I want you to turn the other side and replace it with this. And you want to do the algorithm again. R prime, D prime, R, D. Do it again. R prime, D prime, R, and D. Well, it looks a little confusing because we've now fixed these, but now we're stuck with all of this on the ground, or on the bottom, not the ground, but now what the reason for this is because one of these is spun as well, and we have to continue to complete the algorithm in order to fix all of this mess we've made down here. So the algorithm we're going to do on one of these little tiny pieces. When we spin this, it's going to fix that. So we do it again. R prime, D prime, R, D. R prime, D prime, R, D. As you can see, it fixed all of this, and all we did was spin that, and now we can just solve the cube by doing your little one move. So that's it. I hope that I was able to understand. Trust me, the top layer will take practice. There's not a whole lot I can do if you send me a million comments. I am going to leave a link in the description to where I actually learned this from a man named John, whose YouTube name is SuperAntonioVivaldi. And he's got an excellent tutorial. He's even got one that's specifically for the top layer. That's the one that I'm going to put in there. So if you have trouble with the top layer, don't worry. It's perfectly normal. You're right where you're supposed to be in order to learn what you're going to learn. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.